Christ. We just fucking talked about this. Let's try this again.
What do you want?
Hey,
Okay.
I'm Matt.
I'm Frank.
I'm Mark.
And we are the Goon Squad. Welcome to My Brother's an Idiot, the new and improved version. We're not going to talk your faces off anymore. We're just going to talk a little bit of your nose off, I guess. Who
Most
knows?
of your face.
Let's try it. Most of your
Weird.
face. Whatever. Hey, guys. Did you hear the big news of the day? Did you hear what happened this morning?
I read some stuff about this. I read some stuff. I read some stuff about
Have something to do with Houston Texans?
Yeah. Stephon Diggs is no longer a Buffalo Bill, fellas.
Wild.
He went to Houston.
What a wild trade.
Did you see that he was posting on social media immediately after the trade?
Oh,
talking about how that somebody said something about how he doesn't, define Josh Allen's legacy, and he's like, "Are you sure?"
I did see that. I totally
It's fucking
did see
brilliant, man. It's so good. He's forced his way off of two teams at this point.
I was going to say, how much of this was him
Oh, 100%.
saying, hey, I'm out, so get what you can for me, but I'm gone?
I don't know if it's maybe him saying I'm out as much as it was the Bills saying we're done with your shit. Be gone.
No, I completely agree with you there. But he's forced his way off of two teams, with two pretty good quarterbacks on those teams when he was there.
Mm-hmm.
Say what you want about Kirk Cousins, but he's obviously, a pretty high-paid quarterback for a reason. It's not due to his wins and losses in the playoffs, but he is a pretty good regular season quarterback.
The dude's vanilla.
And Josh Allen's nothing to sneeze at, as we have talked about at length.
Yeah, Josh Allen's pretty fucking good. But so is CJ Stroud. I mean, he's not going to a terrible situation. And there is a lot of wide receiving talent on that roster. And it's just going to get wild in that offense. I mean,
how scared are you if you're in that division at this point?
I'm terrified.
That offense was already really good. Good God.
Out of
put
nowhere.
another weapon like that.
Yeah.
And
they added Mixon.
Yeah, and they've got a stacked draft class this year too.
Yeah.
Like this group of coaches has only had one draft class.
Yeah.
And this is just going to get better and better for them. Oh my God, what a great situation for Houston.
Well, look what they did last year. I mean, they added CJ Stroud, they added Tank Dell. Granted he got hurt, but before he went on the IR for the rest of the season, he was outstanding. And CJ, and we said it before, CJ rewrote the narrative about Ohio State quarterbacks game after game after game. And I was just waiting for him to fall on his face. I mean, rookie quarterback, Ohio State, it's all right there. And it just never happened. They won the damn division.
And even the loss in the playoffs wasn't really on him. So,
right. And it was competitive as fuck too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rookie head coach, rookie quarterback, man, they had all the things against him, and they kept that game as competitive as possible. It was a great game.
Right. And we've been looking for years at the Josh Allens and Lamar Jacksons of the AFC. Look out, everyone. Here comes fucking Houston, and they're going to make a ton of noise if they stay healthy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and they got
100%.
some time, too, because they got a really cheap roster right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, but on the flip side of this, though, how screwed is Buffalo at this point?
I mean,
With
their
no
leading
true number
receiver
one?
is Khalil Shakir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have three nobodies.
They don't have anybody.
They have no number one
remember-
receivers.
Remember last year when we were complaining about the fact that they didn't have any weapons except for their tight end who couldn't get open? It's going to be worse this year because they lost their only threat to take the top off the defense.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they have KJ Hamler.
They lost their only threat to take the top off the defense.
That dude's fast as shit, but he can't catch. We all know that.
Okay.
I adore KJ.
The dude can't stay on the field.
He can't stay healthy. I know. That's been the
And
knock
Buffalo
on him
loves that all of a sudden.
They love broken receivers.
They love broken talent all of a sudden.
You know what struck me about this whole deal, and people have been throwing around trade values for various players on various teams, and there was a lot of chatter around here about what could you get for a Cortland or what could you get for a Pat Surtain. Diggs for a second, and you throw him a fifth and a sixth back. That's chump change for a star wide receiver. You're not going to get anything more than a 6 or a 7 for Court. Why would you even bother?
Yeah, no way. You're getting Stephon Diggs, a pretty good deal there. Look at what they got for Jerry Jeudy. The receivers are kind of a dime a dozen right now, right?
There's getting cheaper.
There's a few guys on your rosters that you can't live without. There's going to be a Tyreek Hill there, a Rashee Rice who's in a little bit of hot water, but still their number one wide receiver.
Is he?
There's a few of those guys. Cooper Kupp when he's healthy, but he hasn't been healthy in a year and a half. Justin Jefferson, same problem. But all these other wide receivers are pretty much mid at this point.
Especially with the draft
90% of them.
No, draft class coming in too.
Yeah, there's some
receivers,
studs, fucking burners coming in, man. Holy shit,
absolute studs. I mean, Marvin Harrison's kid alone might as well be wearing a gold jacket walking into draft day.
I love Marvin Harrison Jr., but my favorite one is Neighbors. I think that dude's going to be a monster at the pro level.
He's good too. He's absolutely good too. Yeah, but you gotta love that growing up in and understanding having that font of knowledge to be able to get anytime he wants. Hey dad, this just happened. What do I do? Or I need some help. Right? That means something.
Marvin Harrison is a couple of crimes away from being in the Hall of Fame himself. So
I was about to say, as long as he doesn't follow daddy's off the field antics or alleged antics.
Alleged.
Yeah. I don't think he's been convicted of anything, but there's been
nothing. There's been some heinous shit.
Yeah. So he can avoid that. Yeah.
Right.
Because they ain't getting away with the shit like that anymore. And Senior's Day, you could get away with some stuff. These days, you're just going to jail now.
Yeah, absolutely not. There's too many phones in too many places.
Yeah.
World star. So what does Buffalo do now? They obviously are going to have to draft a guy.
Where are they at?
28.
Okay.
Yeah, they're at 28.
That would be a good spot for the Broncos to get Michael Penix Jr.
Nah, I'm liking where your head's at. I'm thinking kind of the same thing, and that jump from 28 to 12, you'll get a 2 out of that. That's a good jump. It's not like you're sliding back a few spots and picking up a 3 or a 4 next year. If you package that 28 and this year's 2, I'll bet you Denver jumps at it to slide down to 28.
And just waits for Penix to fall.
Yeah. Or Knicks.
They may even, package a couple of those picks and move back up a couple of spots in case somebody, decides to get grabby.
Right.
At that point, you can do that. You have the draft capital. You don't at this point have the draft capital to do any of these things that the people are talking about, like moving into the fucking top 4 I keep fucking hearing on the goddamn radio. I can't believe this shit is still happening. They're not trading into the top 5. They're not.
They can't get to the Cardinals. What? Yeah, they don't have the capital to get to the Cardinals.
Yeah, they can't get there.
Maddening. It is absolutely maddening that we keep talking about
it. And Buffalo can sit on their hands because they can have Coleman probably fall pretty late first round from Florida State, and they'd still be. That's not a bad pick for them. He could be a number 1.
Yeah, but if quarterbacks go the way everyone thinks quarterbacks are going to go, there's going to be a stud there at 12. And can you pass that up to not have something new and shiny for Josh to play with?
Do you think Rome maybe? Do you think they could wait at 12 for Rome?
Maybe.
Jim Rome?
Yes, Jim Rome.
Rack him. He's out.
Yeah.
Somewhere Jim Rome's ears burning. He's like,
someone, is there a clone somewhere saying something?
Someone make a poignant comment about Jim Rome 10 years after his last relevance.
He's still syndicated. He's still doing a show. He is. Somebody's pot full of money. Somebody's
listening. It's not us, but somebody is.
No, I don't even know if he's on in this market. Honestly, he might be on 1600. Who knows?
Occasionally, he pops on a TV or like a radio commercial, and it's like, check out, advanced hair loss for men. Clones. I did it, bro.
What a clone.
Rack him. He's out.
It's good.
Fucking
Albuquerque.
Christ.
Hello. Show me your lightning bolt.
Oh man, that got me.
There was a good chunk of the 90s that I was a solid clone because Albuquerque, I was living there, and Albuquerque was one of the original 4 affiliates.
Oh, that makes sense.
I don't know how or why, but we were one of the only 4 cities in the country for a while that were getting the Jim Rome show. And we were like, what in the hell is this? This is awesome. In 1996.
I remember you doing that. And then, I got to college and he finally got a television show when I got into college. And I was like, what the fuck is this guy?
Oh yeah.
And then he got his ass kicked on light television.
On ESPN2.
That was the best.
I watched that live and I was like,
oh, you saw
that
it?
was fucking amazing.
Well,
that shit.
Yeah, he earned it. He wore it, and it skyrocketed in from there, right? Okay, Chris. Table flips.
So good.
Jim Effort stomping over.
It was so good.
Oh yeah, that's a scene that will live in my brain forever and ever.
Just hearing him drop the Chris like he did.
Okay, Chris.
Like a 6-year-old yelling at his older brother.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was so good.
That dude was such a troll.
He was. He laid the foundation for all of the Twitter trolls out there.
Oh
He
yeah,
sure did.
big time.
He sure did. Before
that was at
trolls,
a time
there
where
were clones.
Yeah, you couldn't text the station. You had to fax the station. So I'm sure they had this thermal paper fax machine just turning out bad take after bad take after bad take. Oh no, not even dot matrix, just that shitty, nasty paper that we now put receipts on. Shiny on one side, dull on the other, and it would just
it's
fall
basically
on the
just
board.
parchment paper that they pump through a printer. Yeah.
Right. Stupid thermal fax machines. Jesus.
Fucking
I'm old.
How old are you?
But if
so
Denver
old.
sticks at 12, do you think there's anybody worth them taking at 12?
That tight end.
Powers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only one I see.
Here's the thing. Who's throwing him the football?
Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah.
Currently.
Right.
That was a plate.
Having
That was a
batting
plate.
practice.
Yeah, I was going to
That was a
say,
plate.
someone dropping a rack over there? Is the wife doing bench reps? The
Children
other room?
bowling in the kitchen.
Tank, I didn't know you lived in a Chili's.
Made my kids shorter to cook my ass around, maybe.
Here's the thing. If they get out of the first round and they don't have a quarterback, it's a miss. They have to have a quarterback. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if it's 12. I don't care if it's 28. I don't care if it's 32. I don't care. They have to get a quarterback.
If it's 12, do they go Bo Nix or Michael Penix then?
I want
If
him to
they
get
can't
Michael
move.
Penix. Right. I want him to get Michael Penix.
If all things are aside and it's the same thing, Michael Penix at 12 is Michael Penix is 28 is Michael Penix. It not in the top 5 because that's not where you're going to be. You're not going to be in the top 10. You can't even move up 2 spots with the amount of draft capital that you have. You have to fill this roster with depth, with
That's
actual players that play. No, it's not. I don't know if you just heard, but I could not say. But you actually have to fill this roster with some fucking depth. And so I think you're right. The 5th-year option is a necessary evil. And so you have to draft a quarterback in the first round so that you can make a 5-year window, hopefully a championship window at some point.
Right. They've got to get that 5th-year option. They've got to get a guy. And I don't care. You don't have one. You haven't had one since Peyton Manning left. They need a quarterback.
Is there any chance they fill a different hole and wait till next year and just accept
No,
the suck?
the quarterback class next year is terrible. There's one guy right now. One.
Two.
One.
Two.
Who's the other one?
Two. Well, Sanders, I think, is another big one. I think that
he's the
we'll
one.
see that.
Who's the other one?
I'm honestly thinking that if Ewers can put it together in the SEC, he moves up.
That's a huge if.
Toaster's right. We can't wait.
We can't wait.
Can't wait.
They don't get one this year.
Like
next year,
Scott.
There's one other name that's kind of interesting. Anywhere in the first round for him, I think, is a stretch. But Jordan Travis out of Florida State, that's a broken leg that he's coming off of, is his injury. So it's one of those where it's not, a joint, an ankle, a knee, a shoulder, something like that. It's a broken leg. We've seen guys come back from broken legs before and play very, very well and not have that be debilitating. He's not a first round guy. So if for whatever reason they can't get a deal done or they trade back and miss on both Nix and Penix, maybe you get Jordan Travis in the third or fourth and make something work there. He's super athletic, can throw the football all over the field. I don't know. Maybe, but they've got to get a guy. You've got to get a quarterback in the room this year. You absolutely have to. Otherwise, the draft class is a miss. I don't care who else you get.
You have one on the roster right now. They have one quarterback.
No, they have another one. They signed somebody. Somebody I had actually never heard of. It was 2 weeks
they
ago.
have one quarterback on the roster.
Well, I'm saying they have two. They got Jared Stinkham and the other guy who's, shit.
Let's just talk about in the division then. Let's talk about what you think the outlook is if you don't get a quarterback in the first round here. Like,
shit.
Fucking the Chiefs are out here playing checkers and everyone else is playing chess. They signed a guy from the Australian League football rules, or a rugby player, one of those two, because of the new kickoff rules. They're going
rugby player.
Dave Tabin is just going crazy there. And then they signed Carson Wentz, old two legs, old dipshit curse.
I know.
It doesn't matter as long as you have somebody who can possibly win a game if Mahomes is needing a break. That's all you need there.
I get it. I'm not laughing at the Wentz signing. I'm laughing at dipshit cursing him and breaking both of his ankles.
I'm just saying, like, you can't. We've got to get something marginally better this year, and they don't have it. They need to go after it. That's they have to. It's a mandatory thing, and it has to be in the first round, as far as I'm concerned.
You have to get that fifth year.
Well, Vegas is in a bad position too, but they're ahead of us, so they'll probably pick somebody up at 10. So
they could,
yeah.
But it's the Raiders. Who knows what they're going to do? The old man Davis is still drafting for that team, and there's
a lot of receivers. That's what I was saying about the fucking all those burners out there. Al Davis is rolling around right now, waiting to draft some of these 4-2 guys.
Yeah, right.
You use the number 10 on a homeboy from Worthy. Just because.
As soon as you saw that guy pop a 4-2, the torch at Allegiant lit up. I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
Also, the Raiders are good at quarterback. They got the stash and they got Farva. Right. They got Skinny Farva and they got Gardner Minshew. They're good.
I don't think they like Skinny Farva.
With Gardner, they're still ahead of us.
Stash.
So. I know they've got the stash. I know.
Look around the division. There are better quarterbacks in every team. And in fact, some of these teams have two quarterbacks that are better. The Chiefs have two quarterbacks that are better than what we have. Carson Wentz is better than Jared Stidham.
Sure. I don't
a little slower at this point, but yeah.
They're both backup quarterbacks, backup to backup.
Yeah, right. Back them up. But they've got to get a guy. They got to get a guy. And if it's not Penix, I'll take Nix. And if for whatever reason they can't make that work, I would look for them to take Jordan Travis. That's the guy I think is got some upside to him that I don't hear a whole lot about him, but the guy can play. I mean, I saw a couple Florida State games this year, and he's pretty freaking good. Just nobody's seen him throw.
Right. And he's been hurt.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. But
right.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Anything else you guys want to talk about here with Stephon Diggs blowing his way out of fucking Buffalo?
No, but them getting as little as they did does have a big indicator on the wide receiver market this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you wonder if anyone's going to go, if the rumors about Ayuk getting chased down are true, because supposedly there's a first round pick on Ayuk potentially.
I'd trade him in a heartbeat for a first.
Yeah, for a first.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
San Francisco can reload. They don't need Brandon Ayuk as bad as they need some of their other pieces. They can find somebody else.
Right. Get another corner.
Yeah, right. Something.
Mm-hmm.
Get Christian McCaffrey backup legs.
Right.
An extra set of legs.
Get him a spare body that they can just screw his head on. Like
they just signed they signed a tailback out of Green Bay today. So now they have 5 running backs on the roster.
They need it.
Yeah, they do.
Right. I mean,
a lot of those.
He had a fantastic year last year.
Teams.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and running backs, and we've said it before, running backs are a dime a dozen. They're laying around everywhere, so you can always find a guy, right? You can always find
one right there.
You can find a fight. Yeah, you got one. You got Tatum Bell trying to sell you a cell phone over in the corner.
No. What
do you got?
I think that's a Ron Dane out there.
Ron Dane.
What a fantastic experiment for the Broncos that was.
That wasn't the Broncos. He had a substance problem, and it wasn't quite as bad as that. Well, yeah, because he drank too much.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't as bad as that other jabroni that Shanahan brought in from Ohio State, and I never remember his damn name.
Maurice Clarett.
I'll never forget that last draft pick of the 3rd round.
Yeah. I mean, if he wasn't drinking Grey Goose at training camp, he might have turned out to be okay.
Right.
Well, he ended up doing all right after getting over the substance issues. He actually turned out to have a decent public speaking life.
Sure. I was going to say, you are not going to talk about this man's football career.
No.
Matt,
nothing to do with football.
Matt and I were both bracing for a Frank's hot take there. And
Nope. Super cold take. The football field was not his future. Yeah.
He pulled his life together in Europe. He is quite a good public speaker.
He's a good public speaker. Good.
Now he's running around with
member of the community.
Maurice Clarett. Jesus Christ.
Holy fuck, Maurice Clarett.
Oh, God.
How is it so much easier to get Maurice Clarett into a conversation than Gene Mingo?
I don't know, but that is a fantastic question. And I give you 5 out of 5 for that. Well done.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about the insane Joker stat of the week. And before I tell you, I do also have to tell you that Oklahoma State just got boat raced in Boston. I have not looked at the new standings as of yet, but I believe that makes Denver tied for first with Minnesota. Am I correct on that?
No, Minnesota.
Minnesota would be ahead with the tiebreaker.
No, you're right. Yep,
they have the same record, right?
Yep.
They have the same record. Minnie's got the tiebreaker, and I think they play one more time.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that all shakes out. But that's 2 losses in a row for OKC. I don't think Shea played today either. I know he didn't play last night, so they were definitely undermanned. And Embiid yesterday went off, although he looked just gassed. Did not look good at all from a conditioning standpoint. Yeah.
Whatever. I'm glad he's back, though. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm glad he's back, right? Let him make some noise in the Eastern Conference Finals. League. Yeah. It doesn't matter what happens in the East because the West is so much better, right? But the weekly reminder that Nikola Jokic is the greatest basketball player on the planet. This is your insane Joker stat of the week. So Joker and Murray are famous for playing that 2-man game, right? And, Murray hasn't played the last 6 games. They've only played 53 games together total this season. And they lead the NBA in assists to each other, only playing 53 games with 237. That is fucking ridiculous.
They play ball well together. They do good. They do good together.
That chemistry between those two guys is just outstanding. And you can tell when Jamal's not on the court. They haven't looked the same in 2 weeks.
No,
because they're doing the right thing, right? They're playing it safe with the knee. It's much better to have him in May and June than it is the last week of March and the first week of April. I'd much rather have a healthy Jamal.
I admire the Nuggets' consistency with their leadership on the health issue, because they've had this same approach with Jamal for 5 years now. And it's the right approach, and I'm glad they're taking it. I'm glad that they're staying with it.
Yep, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more because Joker is, like we said, he's the MVP. He's going to get his third this year. I don't know if you guys saw the straw poll came out today. Joker won the straw poll, and it wasn't even close. It was sure. 300 points ahead of SGA. So he's going to get his third. That puts him up in that, I think it's Magic, Kareem, and there's a couple other guys with Larry with 3 MVPs. That's high marks right there for sure. But like I said, Joker is, he's the MVP, he's the best player on the team, but Jamal's the guy. He is the straw that stirs the drink. And Mark, I think you said it last year during the playoffs. I don't know if you said it here or if it was in a text thread, but you said, I love angry Jamal. And when we get angry Jamal and he just gets that face, and we all know, the blue arrow, he hasn't done it in a while. It's been a couple of years since he's gone to the arrow, but we all know that body posture of the blue arrow when he gets rolling. And when he gets rolling, he is tough to stop.
Agreed. Can't wait for him to come back. Hopefully he's healthy and they can figure out what the fuck's going on with their 6th and 7th guy.
The 6th and 7th, I think they're okay, and they may actually get 9 deep this year. Reggie's played much better the last couple of weeks.
The last couple games, Reggie's been better. Before that, it was kind of rough.
Well, shooting wise, yeah, but he's been playing better the last couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
Christian Brown is playing with a lot more confidence, taking it to the hole a lot more. Made a great play the other night. With a steal and off the inbounds and an easy layup, kind of the same kind of thing that we saw from him in the playoffs last year. Peyton Watson, we've spent so much time talking about Peyton Watson already. He is next level. He is just so good. His upside is just immense. And then you've got guys like
DeAndre Jordan.
Well, I wasn't going to say DJ because I don't think we'll see DJ much, but where was I going? Oh, Justin Holiday. Justin Holiday's been playing really well. And he's a vet. He comes in, he's ready to go. When he gets his time, he's effective. I kind of dig what they're doing. They could go 9 deep, I think.
Maybe.
We'll see. We shall see what Malone wants to do when it comes to the playoffs.
Right. We've got 10 games left? Is that it?
Less than that. I think 6 or 7.
6 or 7 games. Good night.
Wow. Yeah, we are. No, we're at 10, right? No, 6.
6 games left. There you go.
Yep. 76 minus 82 is 6, guys. Yep. That's basic math.
Yep.
And I know it's basic because Toaster got it too.
There you go. Your weekly reminder to the best basketball player on the planet lives in Denver. Let's do the dipshit of the week. Who is ready to go? Mark?
Yeah.
Tank? Go ahead. No, Tank's got his hand up.
Okay. Go ahead, Tank.
I'm going to go ahead and say the Rockies and the Monforts already dipshits of the week. They came out and said, oh, well, we don't know what we can do to win. We're trying whatever we can to get this team to win. Yeah. Playing defense, having a good pitcher, consistent hitting. Those are how you win games in baseball. We have none of those things and are, again, getting rocked by the Cubs right now. So my dipshits are the Monforts and the Rockies.
Go ahead.
Going into today's 7th game of the year, the highest paid player on the Colorado Rockies, one Chris Bryant, had a 0.000 batting average. He was 0 for 16 going into today. They are not the worst team in Major League Baseball, however. The Miami Marlins are 0-7. They have 4 players that are hitting above the Mendoza line, which is 200.
Which is weird considering what happened last year.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, not to interrupt, but Chris Bryant needs to be a part of whatever conversation you're having, because you've got $142 million in payroll, and a good third of that is, Chris Bryant and some guy who's playing on the St. Louis Cardinals. You have to have some representation from your top paid player.
And as you threw into the chat this week, we're still somehow paying Vinny Castilla. I didn't know that. He hasn't played for the Rockies in 2 decades. And we're currently paying Vinny Castillo. I was like, can we just get Vinny out there then? I know he's like 50 something now, but I still trust him.
That was my first thought was, he's somewhere in Mexico scouting for the Rockies, but he'll play a better outfield than what I saw yesterday in Chicago.
Oh God, that was horrific.
Well, when your quote unquote ace has a 27 ERA, there's an issue there. And Tank, I'm glad you brought up the Monforts. I don't know if you guys saw that interview that he did a week or so ago where they were talking about different people that he'd interviewed and are you trying different things? And he's like, yeah, we interviewed a bunch of people to try to get them in here and try to get things better. And all the things they were suggesting won't work.
Yeah.
Bro, what you're trying right now isn't working.
And that's why I mentioned him by name. It was because of that interview. I was like, you're an idiot.
It's all a smoke screen. It's all a smoke screen. As long as they put 35,000 in the seats every night, they don't care.
They don't even have to have them in the seat. They just got them across the street. The hottest bar in Lodo is right next to the stadium, and they gave them that land for free. Let's not forget that.
Yeah,
it's ugly.
Well, I mean, it was a parking lot.
Yeah, but they gave them that for free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the land. They gave them the land. They built the building, but they gave them the land. I get that part. Mark, what do you got?
I'm going to go with a little bit off the beaten path. I was going to go with something different, but I like this one that we're sticking with baseball. The Oakland, soon to be Las Vegas Athletics, are a very bad baseball team. They have the lowest payroll in the sport at $64 million. In comparison, the Rockies have $143 million in payroll. In comparison, the Cheater Dodgers have 373 if you account for the $68 million that Shohei doesn't have on the books right now. They're currently at $315 million if you do account for his real contract that he signed, the $2 million with the 68 deferred. My point being is the Oakland Athletics are not paying their players shit. 3,000 fans are showing up to the game average per year. Ticket sales are up to 8,000 per game, but there are 3,000. There are 4 players on this team that have already been cut or set down to the minors. The season is only 7 games old. The reason why these players have been set down is somewhat of a conspiracy. So there is a site called Last Dive Bar, and he's on Twitter, and he sells a lot of Oakland Coliseum, like burn it to the ground type stuff, like close the Coliseum, fuck the team, sell the team, all this shit. These 4 players all have one thing in common. At some point over the weekend, they were wearing Last Dive Bar bracelets. They were all wearing protester-specific bracelets.
Uh-oh.
3 of them have been sent down, and 1 has been outright cut from the team. Oakland has not mentioned any specifics as to why this has happened, but we've all figured it out, haven't we? Quietly, the Oakland Athletics are not only the worst team in baseball from just a standpoint of they don't care at all. They're also just railroading their own team. So hats off to you, Oakland Athletics. You are more pathetic right now than the Rockies.
No, that's tough to do.
We still have a worse run differential.
Hey, man, I'm all about bashing the Rockies when bashing the Rockies is due. But you're not sending players to the minors for wearing wristbands that say something different than the state is providing.
Right.
We should send all of our players to the minors, honestly.
You should just send all the team to the minors anyways. Nolan Jones is supposed to be our best player, and the guy gave up an inside the park fucking home run.
Oh God, that was gross.
Yeah, it was. That was some little league shit right there. That was unbelievable. And make sure you check us out on TikTok because we posted it there, and it's awesome.
Oh yeah,
players with the Benny Hill music.
My brother is an idiot. Yeah, oh yeah, a yakety sax, sacks. It's great.
Yeah,
absolutely great. My dipshit. The little piece of news came across my Twitter feed, and I went, "Huh, that's an odd thing to happen." My dipshit of the week is Buccaneers GM Jason Licht, Licht. I hope I'm saying that correctly. The Buccaneers made a signing in the last couple of days. They picked up some depth on their edge rushing bench and signed one Randy Gregory. The details of the contract have not been publicized yet. They will at some point because everything's public in terms of money in the NFL. But they are excited about a guy who has played in the last 2 years, 22 games, has 17 quarterback hits in those 22 games. And in the playoffs last year, which for the 49ers was as long as anybody else's playoffs, 5 combined tackles and 1 tackle for loss. And they're excited to have Randy Gregory.
But he's veteran leadership.
Leading them to what? The dispensary?
I'm with you. The guy is trash. Right. I hated it when they signed him here. I thought it was a waste of money when we signed him here.
It's ham sandwiches for a year and $100,000 for each tackle.
Yeah,
should net him about $500,000 in a year's worth of ham sandwiches.
Dime bag of weed every time he touches the quarterback.
Right.
Shit, it might get him there faster.
Yeah, right. No kidding.
Ricky Williams rules.
Ricky Gregory. Hey, Ricky could play. All right.
Yeah, I know. Well, he just didn't want to.
Yeah, right.
That was the problem. He didn't want to play anymore.
Went to go be a Buddhist monk for a year and a half.
But yeah, and then came back, was like, I'm addicted to pot. And we're like, we know, bud. We know.
Yeah. We figured that out.
The whole world
we knew the whole time, bro. It's okay.
Hey, man, let him smoke his weed and run for 100 yards. I don't care.
Right? Talk about having 2 separate careers, man. That guy, how often is it that someone can just go away for a year and a half, 2 years, and then come back and then have a halfway decent career for a couple of years? That just doesn't happen.
Oh,
right. Like Vic.
You said couple of years. I was thinking of Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
You said a couple of years though. I don't know if he gets sustained.
Yeah, I don't think so. Where's Flacco now? He's somewhere else.
He just got paid.
He just got
another year. But where was it? It's like Indianapolis or some fucking dumb shit like that.
No, I think it is. I think it is Indy.
He got a 2-year deal or a 1-year deal?
Yeah, he's gonna be Richardson's backup.
Yep. Oh, I mean, they had to replace the mustache.
They gave him a $3.5 million all guaranteed contract to be the backup. That's great. Good for him.
Backup,
as long as Anthony Richardson shows up healthy to camp, he'll have a great year.
Oh yeah,
carrying clipboards, moving from city to ccity, losing games.
As long as Anthony Richardson learns how to get down and not take a massive hit, then he'll be okay.
Yeah,
he's got that RG3 about him. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, do you think RG3 is having fucking PTSD watching him? Oh no, bro, get down!
Oh!
This might be a hot take. I don't know if I like RG3 or not on Twitter. Sometimes he's really funny, and sometimes he's really obnoxious.
Yeah, it's hot or cold, right? He goes to both sides. I think sometimes he actually makes some sense and he's funny, and sometimes I think he's just trying to get clicks. And I think he needs to figure out which one he is.
I think people get in his feelings, and that's when he starts getting kind of pissy.
Yeah, and he makes outlandish claims about shit that I'm like, where did that come from? There's no founding for that.
He's also pretty funny on a play-by-play when he's doing the analysis. He drops some stuff that's just hysterical. I don't know how he comes up with some of the stuff that he does, but he is pretty damn funny.
Toaster's right, though. One of the best social media guys, and he's always been great to the media in general. Even when he was being an asshole, to the media, he was still great to the media, and that was Marshawn Lynch, all-time great.
Right.
You know,
run through a motherfucker's face is still one of my favorite things ever.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah,
boss.
I'm just here so I don't get
fined. A whole
fined.
bag of Skittles,
boss.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah,
boss.
My favorite was when D-Mac asked him, and he was like, "So are you just doing this as a publicity stunt?" You could see the "fuck you" in his eyes. He's like, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Like, I get D-Mac has got a thing, right? There are just some people that you just don't try to poke the bear with, and Marshawn Lynch is absolutely on that list.
The best part about Marshawn Lynch in the last couple of years was right after the Super Bowl when the 49ers lost, and he was wandering around with chicken wings and his slippers through the hotel casino, walking up to everybody with a 49ers jersey, just ripping them. Fuck you. You root for the 49ers? Fuck you. Just high as fuck eating chicken wings right now.
That dude's fun,
walking through the wind.
Fuck you. So good, man. So good.
Oh,
and I don't know if you know this or not, but he actually had a pretty decent role in the 3rd season of Westworld.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he was really good.
Fucking show is great, man. I do like that show.
Yeah, it was very good. All right, that does it for Dipshits of the Week and for the day. Let's kick it around for final thoughts. Tank, what do you got?
Oh, praying for a Rockies win. Some point this year, make me happy. Besides that, you can catch me on all the socials at Tank Knox or Knox Nostalgic Collectibles. You can find us on the YouTube at My Brother's an Idiot. You can find us on our new Facebook, My Brother's an Idiot, and our private Facebook, My Brother's an Idiot. Just got to look for the blue icon, right? The new one? Or no, black with blue and pink is the new one.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
Did anybody take the over in that Rockies game at 12.5?
No.
I would have, but no, I'm not betting.
It's 8-8 right now.
Oh, holy shit, they tied it up.
It's 8-8, but the Cubs have two men on with 0 out.
I was wondering why Queen Goon just shouted "Holy shit," and that must be it. Is that because they tied?
They actually fucking tied.
They actually fucking
tied. That's the commentary we come here for. That was so good.
Normally it's on because we switched over to Fubo, so now we can watch Abs and Nugs, except when they're on the Turner side. But yeah, right now we're watching Cleveland and Phoenix, and Phoenix is just destroying Cleveland. They're up by 14. 10 minutes left in the second.
If we get within 20 of 80 wins, I'm going to throw a fucking party. Because I don't see us getting to 30.
Spiders Cup.
On the projections that they are doing now, there's going to be several teams on the Spiders Cup. They will be, in order to... There's a stat that if they continue on this trend, they could be the worst team in Colorado sports history. Beating those lowly Nuggets from 1998 when Bill Hanslick coached them. And they could lose 136 games if that's the case. In which case it would be the Rockies Cup at that point. There would no longer be, I could throw my Spiders shirt away because there's no longer any relevance to it if the Rockies are that bad.
Yeah, if they're the worst team in baseball history, they absolutely get to rename the trophy. But we're not going to call it the Rockies Cup. You know, we're going to call it the Montfort Cup.
Yeah, bang, right there, Montfort Cup.
I'm good with that.
Call it the Montfort Cup.
But they have to earn it first. They have to earn it before we change the name.
Nothing's given here on this podcast.
No, absolutely
not. You have to earn everything that you get.
You have to lose goodly.
Update, 0 outs, 2 men on base, 8-9. Cubs are leading.
Yeah.
Shitheads.
All right, Mark, you got anything else? Final thoughts?
No, man. We're doing some cool stuff on the TikTok and some other things. So check us out. Hope you guys enjoyed the new format.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure you check us out. Tank alluded to the new Facebook. An announcement for that is going to be coming out probably early next week as we load some content onto it. So you're not just looking at a blank logo. We're putting stuff on the TikTok and porting that over to all of our channels. We're on Instagram. We're going to be on Like we said, TikTok, more Twitter stuff coming. It's going to be a hell of a ride. We hope you come along with us.
Toaster's enjoying it.
Yeah, Toaster likes it. Absolutely. For the absent Milty, we love you, Milty.
Milty.
And MJ, I hope you're not working too hard, but we love you, MJ.
Get some rest.
Yeah, for Tank and Beep Bop Boop, whatever that is.
Beep Bop Boop.
Beep Bop Boop. Anyway, my brother, the idiot. My name's Matt. I'm the king of the goons. We'll catch you next time. See ya.
See ya.